This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's go. Get on your mark, let's go. What you waiting for? There's so much more. The future's yours. Let go, explore. It's yours for sure. Sing with me with fear. So to God I stay near. I keep my hand to the plow. There's no turning back now. My future look bleak. I decided to see. He said follow me. On a journey you'll see. Get on your mark, let's go. What you waiting for? There's so much more.
Good morning, y'all. What day is it? It's Saturday. And what happens on Saturday? It's Lessons from the Journey Live with your girl, Sean L. Brown. And you know, I'm excited every Saturday. Why am I excited every Saturday? Because I'm only bringing my friends on Lessons from the Journey Live who have taken this journey with me, who know the price of becoming yourself fully and totally together. And this week, I promise you, it's not going to disappoint you. Guess who's in the studio with me? Joey Mixon. Can I call you Joey Mixon? Did I get it
Absolutely.
right? Is that because
Absolutely.
I know you got many aliases
Yeah,
and
I
names?
have 100 names. You can call me anything you want. I answer to all of them.
You answered all well, beautiful. So I'm gonna call you Joey Mixon
Yes,
for
ma'am.
the people in the back.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the show, Joey Mixon. What's up?
Feels good to be here, man. It's a good day. And speaking of names, I'm gonna have to call you Shawnee G now because I heard that you're a new grandma.
What?
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, let me tell you about that a little bit. Okay. I am loving being a grandmother. I mean, loving it. And so I had to get myself a new hip hop name. It's Granny B.
Okay. All right, I
Yes.
like that.
And you
Okay.
know what? You
Yep.
know what's coming
Yep.
next? You know what's coming? A remake of Mama Don't Take No Mess by Yo Yo, but it's going to
Okay.
be Granny Don't Take No
I
Mess.
like that.
I'm
I
going
like
to
that.
tear that
Yeah.
thing up.
Granny
You
B
hear
is
me?
hard. I like it.
Yeah, Granny
I'm with
B,
it.
and she don't play. My
Yep.
granny didn't play, and Granny B definitely don't play because she's a little bit. She's like 80% gospel,
Yeah.
10% death row, and 10% bad boy.
Okay.
Makes up the
Okay.
whole 100%.
All
So
right.
Granny B not playing, right? So maybe we can get on a track together because I heard through the grapevine that you were interested in doing some positive new focus type hip hop. Did I hear
Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. I've been making music my entire life. I was a little kid banging on pots and pans in the kitchen, and my parents eventually got me a drum set. I was in the school band. I was first there in the marching band. I got to perform at Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm. I played the drums in church. All this stuff as a kid. Um, and it's just stayed with me my entire life, man. As you see, I'm in my studio right now. Um, I've been doing this forever, and it's been a crazy story and a crazy journey as well. But just over the last, I'd say about 2 months, um, I've had a 180-degree transition. Just I've turned around and I've surrendered to the Lord, and it's been sign after sign after sign after sign these last couple months. Um, and I've even, like I said, I played the drums in church for a little bit when I was a kid. I've been around church my entire life. When I graduated high school, I stopped going. And since then, I just didn't go back to church, and I wasn't paying attention to it. But I still saw the signs, but I ignored them. And like I said, as of the last 2 months, it's impossible to ignore now. I see what's going on,
Mm,
and I'm in tune. So yeah, it's gonna be a nice trip going forward for sure.
amen. I got a question. You
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
the Holy Spirit prompted me to ask this question. How was your life without the Holy Spirit guiding it? What was it like?
No, it wasn't anything crazy. I didn't care. I was a true hater, if that's what you want to call it, man. I didn't like people. I was in my own little spot, and I just did whatever I wanted to do. It was nothing wild or crazy, but I was just in my own zone, living how I wanted to live, and not worried about anybody else but myself. I was very selfish. And
Mm.
now I have a little daughter, and she's 3, so everything that I had in me is her now. I can't be selfish anymore. It's
Come
impossible.
on, Joey.
Yeah,
Come on. Because it's so important. I have 2 kids, 3 kids, if we count my bonus daughter. I got 3 kids. And then now I have a grandchild.
right.
And I'm telling you, that little grand boy is making me level up my game for real. There's no more, I cannot turn around and hand him stuff that I know is no good.
Absolutely.
I will not do it. If that means I got to go through the fire, if that means I got to grow up in some areas I haven't wanted to, if that means I have to let go of coping mechanisms so that he can be free and not gaslit, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I hear you saying.
Right, exactly. There's if you know about it and you deliberately ignore it, that's a you
Come on,
problem.
Joey.
And that's what I was doing. It was on me. I did it on purpose, and I knew it. But like
That's
I said, now that I'm in tune and I'm knowing what's going on, I just can't ignore it anymore. So I'm being on the straight and narrow and doing what I need to do to walk this path right. And it's literally been paying off ever since I said I surrender. It's been going crazy, man. So it's crazy. My mom has been always telling me, you think that you've been blessed before, but wait until you say yes and see how your life changes. So I'm living in that right now.
Oh my gosh, you don't even understand how beautiful it is, because the world needs men who love Jesus. Because men who love Jesus are brides of Christ. And brides of Christ will lead their families, and they'll lead them in the way that God called the family to be led. So
Right.
thank you. I want to thank you for taking your role seriously. And I want to thank you for loving God, loving yourself, and loving your family enough to make the choice to surrender, because surrender is not easy. Let me just ask you this before I go on, because I had no plans for this conversation, but you took me here.
All right.
Let me just ask you, how difficult was surrender?
It, not at all. It was okay. So let me set up what happened. Like I said, my mom has been every time I talk to my mom, Joseph, you gotta know the Lord, you gotta know the Lord, you gotta know the Lord. And I always tell her that don't ever stop telling me that, because one of these days it's gonna click, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, it's time. So um, I've always been told that by my mom, and just about a month and a half ago, uh, our friend Shari Wilson, I had an interview with her, and she was speaking about the same type of things that I've heard from my mom, but she said you have to surrender. And when I heard that word in my head, it just stuck with me. I don't know. After she said that, maybe like 15 words after that, I don't know what she said, because I heard that word and I just stopped. And so it stuck with me. So the next day I was in the kitchen, and I put my hands up and I said, you know what? I surrender, man. Like there's no other sign that I need. I just surrender, and that was it. And it's been uphill since then, honestly.
Well, let me tell you when it started uphill for me. Do you remember when we met?
Yeah,
You remember when we met?
yeah,
Do you remember how truly serendipitous the entire situation was? I just was coming to my cousin, producer Tila's house,
right.
sit down to meet you, to kind of talk to you about what I was doing. I had no plans
Yep,
to do what we did the next day, which was go to all of the places that I had grown up. We went back and we actually went through the
yep.
journey.
We
And I
walked
was
through it. We walked the
able,
steps.
it was crazy. I was able to unpack. We went to Vallejo. We hung out with Sugar T.
Yep,
We went to Sunnyvale.
yep.
We went to my first apartment in Sunnyvale as a youngin, and we went through all of the phases and places and sat and let me ask you, Joey, what was the experience like? My lessons from the journey through your eyes. What did you see? What did you pick up on that trip?
It was all right. I'll say this: it was life changing. I'll say
Mm.
that. And let me tell you what I mean. So when I met you, for whatever reason, something told me this woman is special. Um, so when you asked me to drive out, Sunnyvale's not close to Sacramento.
No.
And I drive an M3, so it takes a lot of gas. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm doing this. It's gonna be cool. So I went to fill up my gas tank before I left, and on the back of that receipt, I said, this trip is gonna change my life. I wrote it on the receipt,
Mm.
and it's still in my car. Um,
Wow.
and then I drove out, and what happened. I met you that morning, and we went to the stairs, and that's where we started at. Um, and then we went to the park, and then we went to the apartments, and just being able to see you open up and let me know what was going on in your life was incredible. I didn't expect any of that to happen. I just thought that I was going out there um, just to see a couple sites basically, and take some photos of you. But you ended up telling me your story, and it was crazy. I just felt comfortable, and the entire time I was cool. I felt like I was at home. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then sure enough,
Mm.
fast forward 4 or 5 years later, it's exactly the same. Um, we're still on that journey, and we're still in the middle of it. And sure enough, that was the catalyst that changed everything. Meeting you put me on that path to be where I'm at right now. Believe it or not, it did. I was on my own road doing my own thing with my music and everything, but when I met you, it was it was a slight shift, and something told me to pick up the camera that I've been doing for a little bit of time as well. And it it made its transition to where I can do both now, and it's fantastic. It's
Is
fantastic.
it
But
wonderful?
yeah, but that day was incredible, man. I didn't expect to have any of that go down. I met your best friends. It was just a cool, fantastic day, and hearing you being
Cool.
able to let me know all that was awesome, and I appreciate it.
So, of all of the stops we went through, which was most impactful for you? And then I'll share which one was most impactful for me. So, which one was most impactful and why? And then I'll tell you which one was most impactful and why for me.
For me, it was where you were assaulted when you were a kid. Um, that was I don't even know how to put something like that into words. It was just powerful sitting there in that moment and watching that story. Um, you you took me back to when you were there, and I was in that moment with you. It was incredible. That was that was the most impactful. I can't say why. Maybe because the story was so heavy. Um, but that was definitely the most impactful moment of that trip.
That was wild. Remember that lady came out
Yes,
and then she just
yes,
stayed with us the
yes,
rest of the time,
yes,
walking with us. It
yes,
was incredible. And
yeah,
she happened to live in my childhood best friend's apartment. So it was
yeah.
the whole thing felt like God was on us. And then when we got to the community center, which is what I patterned Shawneeville Global Community after,
Right.
the whole Matrix scene. Remember that?
Yep, yep,
That
yep.
was all set up like the Matrix. It was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
It was,
this is crazy.
and see, the signs were happening back then. The signs were happening back then, but I was choosing to ignore things. But
Mm,
that lady coming out and just happening to be there when you told that story, come on, man. Why would that happen?
right?
Why would that happen?
Why?
Um,
And why would she stay with us
yeah, it
in the
was
middle of her day?
yeah, 100%, man. So, but like I said, now I'm in tune with these signs, and I'm paying attention. These are not mistakes. There's no such thing as coincidence.
No, there is no such thing as coincidence. You know, my most impactful moment from that trip was when we went to Vallejo.
Okay.
And we went, and it was probably the three places we went to in Vallejo. We went to my big mama's,
Right.
my great grandmother's, and that stop made me completely emotional. I didn't realize that I had never grieved her loss.
Wow.
I didn't know. So when I sat down in front of her house and you started filming it, my heart was crushed. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know this was in here. And
Yeah.
then when we went to my other grandmother's house who lived around the corner, all I could see flashing back to was me as a little girl and them walking me back and forth. And then it brought to me like where I only felt safe with them and I didn't feel safe in any other space. And then when we went to Second Baptist Church,
Yeah.
the first place where I sang Little LaShawn, and what I wasn't able to articulate that day that I can articulate now. That summer that I sang at Second Baptist Church in the choir, I was 7 years old. It's probably 8 years old, just turning 8, right?
Yeah.
That summer.
Yeah.
And I got saved that summer. And I was so excited about the Lord. I had sang a solo at Second Baptist, and my grandparents, everything that they were doing, and I was friends with all the older people because my grandparents were like deacon and deaconess of the church and the leaders of the usher board, and Big Mama was in the choir. She was a nurse. So I was around all those people. So Jesus was normal. Then I came home. And when I got home, my little 8-year-old self wants to share the goodness of God with the people in my neighborhood.
Right.
And so I can remember telling this little girl about Jesus, and she said she wanted to get saved. She wanted to do what I had done. So I prayed the prayer of salvation with her.
Yeah.
At her house, and then we went outside to commence the plan, right? And it was like, I want to say like 7 o'clock. That's coming to my spirit because that was still light, but it was getting late.
Yeah.
And the little girl's mother came out of the house and was charging towards me. Now you gotta remember, I'm 8.
Yeah.
And she's charging towards me and she puts her finger in my face and she's like, "Don't you force your religion on my kid."
Wow.
Da, da, da. And she's yelling at me. My mom is not home. There's no protection for me. And I'm a little 8-year-old just standing there petrified.
Yeah.
What that did for me, it confused me.
Yep.
Right then and there, I was confused. I was fearful of my voice because I felt like I had done something wrong.
Right.
I didn't have anybody who came behind and said, "That lady is crazy. That's her thing, blah, blah." I didn't have anybody. So to this day, I believe I became a rapper because I got afraid to sing.
Wow.
I got afraid to sing. Rapping was easy. I didn't have to close my eyes. I could stand straight up and right?
Yeah.
But singing, I had to feel the emotions of the words. And feeling takes the heart. But my heart got stuck in frozen mode and fearful. So sitting in front, going to the church, going to the 2 places where I felt protected, and then having to realize in that moment, oh my God, I got frightened into silence.
And that was the same day?
Yeah. I think we did it the next day. Because remember, we stayed the night in Northern California.
Yeah.
And then, we stayed the night in Fremont or something area. Right. And then we drove on our way home, we stopped in Vallejo.
No. I'm saying when you were a kid, when you got saved, the same day is when you tried to get your friend and her mom did that to you?
No, it wasn't the same day because I was in Vallejo. So when I got back home, right, I was so excited when I got back to Sunnyvale to tell all my friends, I want to tell you. Okay. And so she was like, "I want to get saved." And I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "We'll go to my house and get me saved."
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's like an immediate no. You don't need to be doing that. That's the adversary, man. I've seen the same thing happen to me recently. after I surrendered, like maybe a week later, I got sick, and then I lost my voice for a week and a half. And you can probably hear me now. I'm still kind of
I
hoarse.
can still hear a
Um,
congestion a little bit.
yeah, it's barely getting back now. So, and just like you were saying earlier, I'm supposed to be making some positive type Christian songs, right? So why else would my voice be trying to get away? You know what I mean? So, um, that's the adversary. That lady's mom was the personification of the adversary saying, "No, you don't need to be doing this. Don't share that word." That's crazy. That's crazy.
It has taken me a long time, and I will say this: a survivor of 3 brain surgeries, injuries, right?
Right.
I believe they were necessary to reroute my brain to be able to utilize the gifts and talents that God placed down on the inside of me that the enemy tried to rob me
I
from.
can see that. Yeah, I can
Mhm.
see that.
You can see that, right?
Yeah.
So, what I guess here's nugget one from me, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of nuggets in this conversation. But nugget number one is when things seem hopeless and when things seem terrible and devastating, that's where God gets to show up and be miraculous. So I want people to feel comfortable in the fact that whatever you go through
Right.
in God's hands, on the other side of that is the freedom that you seek. It just may not come in the way that you think.
Right.
To that point, Joy, I'm going to ask you. I know you are doing new things,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And going new places. What's the vision right now for you? What's the vision for Joey?
Man, I'm I have to step into what I'm supposed to be doing. Ever since I was small, I've wanted to help people look good and sound cool. I've always said that since I was a kid. I want people to look good and sound cool. Little did I know, filming and recording music and being able to produce is exactly that. Um, for a
Yes.
long time, I've been on this road to be where I'm at, and this is where I'm supposed to be. My future is this. Um, I'm fully immersing into this digital media production. That's my business now, and I'm taking it serious. And for the first time, I'm actually doing it. It's working. Um,
Mhm.
it's been a long journey. Like I said, I worked for a company for 18 years, and they laid me off. And I was like, all right, so this is the perfect time to get that done. Uh, I started a few years ago, and it took longer than I wanted it to. But like you said, when you're at your worst, that's when you see what's going on. Like, oh, okay. And the fact that I had already started to gain a little traction before I made my surrenderance and said, hey, this is cool. It made me feel like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, man. Keep your feet down, keep your head forward, and keep going, because this is gonna pan out to be something bigger than you thought.
Yeah. What? So when you say this is going to be something bigger than you thought, I see you as so multifaceted and multi-talented, right? So
Right.
yes, I believe that the digital media and all of that is a part of you. But what else is in there? What else did God put in there that you might be afraid to to
I
let
don't, I
out?
don't, I don't know, man. Because I've done a lot of stuff. I'm 38. I feel like I've lived a pretty cool and fulfilling life, to be honest. I've done a lot of things. So I sing, I rap, I play the drums. I'm just a creative type of person. What other things might be inside, I'm not sure yet, but it could be anything. That's why I said this could be bigger than what I thought, because already it's opened doors into to other things that I thought that I wouldn't be doing. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just
You're open.
yes, I'm along for the ride, and I just I love doing things. I drive fast cars. I like to work on those. Um, I like doing music routing and all this kind of stuff. I collected shoes when I was younger. I'm a Raider fan. I like doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm very hands on with things, and like I said, whatever this turns into, I'm gonna pick it up and run with it. So I can't tell you what's hiding, because I'm not sure yet. But it's definitely gonna come out, and you guys are gonna know.
You know, you're so incredible. It just confuses me that you're a Raider fan. But, you know, that lets you know how much I love people because it just so confuses me that you're a Raider fan. That's just weird to me. But I'm letting you do it because you have boundaries and I love you. And so I'll let you be confused. But whenever you want to put on the red and gold, you just let me know. I will be the first to buy you your jersey.
So my mom is a 49er fan, so
She's smart.
that's why I never have an issue with 49er fans, man, because that's my mom, man. I don't be hating on her. So but yeah, I'm a big Raider fan. My pops is a Raider fan, so you know I want to be like pops. So
you want to be
that's
like
why
Pops.
that's why I chose
Okay.
Black and Silver.
Okay. Yeah, he's responsible for confusing
What?
you.
There's no confusion, man. No confusion. No confusion. We're all right.
Talk to me about Raiders because you do something you did. I don't know. Do you still do music video for them? Tell me about that. And how did you start doing that?
Yeah, I never did music for the Raiders. I just I never did music for the Raiders organization. I made Raiders songs all the time ever since 2009-ish. Every year I would do a Raiders song. In 2013, I wrote a song called Shield on My Chest. And in 2014, I got to perform that song in London. So
what?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool year, man. But like I said, when I tell you that I've lived a little bit, I've done a lot of stuff, man. So it's kind of crazy. But so yeah, in 2013 I wrote that song. By 2014 I performed it in London, and then now that's what my production company is named. It's called Shield on My Chest Productions. That's what I named it after because this whole time I've been trying to figure out, man, what should I do? What should I do? But the whole time it's been sitting in front of my face, Shield on My Chest. And it just works both ways for whatever I need to do. And I'm embracing it.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like you're giving me the story. How do you go from I'm gonna make some little tunes for the Raiders just for fun, right? Because that's what you were doing, right? Just for fun. You had no plan. You weren't selling them. None of that.
No.
How do you get to London?
Excuse me. All right. So before. All right. I gotta back up.
Back up.
The internet, how it is right now, I feel like I helped shape it back from when I was a kid, right? So in 2003, 2004, there was a website called Nike Talk, and it was just about sneakers. You get on there, you post about your shoes and everything like that, right? So they used to have a thread called "What did you wear today?" And every time you post your shoes up, just whatever you had on, right? So I started doing a video, "What did you wear today?" And this was back in 2005. So every day I would post a video of my shoes and it would just be in that thread of Nike Talk, right? And that's exactly what Instagram is right now. So I started that, and then in 2006, I put out a video on YouTube showing my shoe collection. And Soulja Boy was the first rapper on YouTube. I was the first person that put my shoe collection on YouTube. Yeah, I think there's maybe one person on there before me, but no, it wasn't as popular as my video. So I was like, all right, I was the first one. So I did that video, and YouTube asked me if I wanted to do a partnership with them. This is back in 2007. So I had like one of the first wave of AdSense accounts, and YouTube was paying me like $100 every month and a half or something like that just for ads on my video. So fast forward, I wasn't thinking about trying to monetize anything. I was just, like I said, doing this for fun because this is what I did. I made songs and I posted my shoe videos. So fast forward a little bit, I think it was 2009 is when I started to do my first Raiders songs. I was like, man, yeah, this is kind of fun. So you remember that song "Black and Yellow" by Wiz Khalifa?
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Right.
Black and yellow.
I did "Black and Silver" for the Raiders, and that was my first one. So a couple years later, I wrote the "Shield on My Chest" song. I was in Sacramento in my room, just sitting there. Oh, I was like, man, this is gonna be cool. I recorded it, put it on Instagram, and then I think maybe like a week and a half later, I posted it on SoundCloud, and the response was pretty cool. So I was like, all right, dope. I want to shoot a music video for it. So I think it was the Tennessee Titans versus the Raiders, and it was in November of 2013, I think it was. I went out there, and my idea was I'm going to get as many people as I can to get into this video and then I have them all share it, because if they're in the video, they're gonna want people to see that they were in the video. So that's what I did. I just walked around the stadium performing the song. I performed like 10 times that day. And then the very next day, I went to the Raider image in Sacramento at Arden, and I did the same thing. So there was like, I don't know, at least 100 people built in to the video that I sent it to, that shared it for me automatically. So it dropped on YouTube, and within like the first 2 days, it got like 5,000 views. And back then, that was cool for me.
That was a lot.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is cool.
This
So
is the thing.
so I figured, I was like, look, man, why don't I just do like because I knew the momentum was there. I didn't have anything to gain from it, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, all right, this is cool. I need these views to go up because YouTube's going to pay me more. So I put on a contest, and I had anybody that was in the video, or anybody that had saw the video at that point, if they had little kids, I wanted them to sing the song and make something to the hook. So I had all these little kids dancing around singing "Shield on my chest, I don't need a vest, I rep my team, black and silver I bleed," and it was amazing. And it flooded Instagram. So within like maybe 4 or 5 months, it had it was sooner than that. Within like 2 or 3 months, it had almost 100,000 views. Excuse me. And then the next year, I went overseas to Kuwait, and that's where I spent the next 2 years. And when I was over there, I had another idea. I said, okay, I know when I get back home, I'm gonna want to have season tickets for the Raider games when they start. So I'm gonna buy a season ticket for this season and give it out once a week to whoever's gonna play that song, right? So that's how I kept the momentum going. And then the next year in 2014, the Raiders played in London, and that's when I went to London to see the game. And while I was out there, the DJ, he had the big NFL UK big rig behind him. It was a really cool setup. He was playing some Raider songs, and something in my head said, "Hey, go see if he'll play your song for these people." And I said, "All right, cool." So I walked up to the DJ, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm from California. I wrote a song for the Raiders. Would you play it?" So he was like, "Man, let me hear it." So I played it for him, and he looked at me, he's like, "Oh, I heard this before." And I was like, "Huh?" So the DJ in London randomly, but what I didn't realize was all that momentum that I had put into the song before that, it had reached there. So before I even got there, he knew, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play it." So he played the song, and everybody in the little crowd right there was going crazy. And I was like, "Man, this is hella cool." So I was just recording it because, like I said, I didn't have any plans to do anything else. But for them, my original thought behind that song was, I'm going to write this song for Raider fans, and that's all I want to. That's all I care is who hears it. For me to be in London and have the Raider fans out there hear my song was the coolest thing to me. So I was just recording it on my phone. And when I went back up to grab my MP3 player from him, something told me, "Hey, ask him if he has a microphone." So I asked him. I was like, "Hey, do you have a microphone?" He said, "Do you want to perform it?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, man!" So he's like, "All right, man, come back in like 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna set it up." And he threw me the microphone, and I rocked out. And it was incredible, man. There was like 10,000 people sitting out there. And when I got done, they told me to do it again. So I was like, "Man, just give me like 30 minutes and I'll come back to do it again." So I waited, and I came back, and I did the song one more time. And then that was like the coolest thing to ever happen. And then the Raiders got blown out by the Dolphins, and I was mad as hell.
In true Raider fashion.
Yeah, but it was oh, that's funny, man. But you know what? It really was, man. I was hyped up, like, yeah, we're gonna do this, man. I just performed this song in front of other people. They're not gonna let me down, and they let me down, man.
And they let you down.
But I never let myself down with these songs, man. So it's one of those things. Like I've been writing these for a long time, and I'm just gonna continue to do it because, like I said, it's something I've always done, and eventually that traction that caught before is gonna do it again. So I'm not worried about it. I've been doing it this long. So why not just keep going? So yeah, man, it's been a love-hate relationship with the Raiders for me, but that's my team, man.
I can only imagine. That's my team. I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
so
all
sorry.
right. Hey,
And I love the loyalty. That's
yeah.
why I love you so much. Because
Hey, man, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be
anybody
consistent.
that can be loyal to the Raiders, like my husband likes the Raiders, and
Yeah.
then my new daughter in love, she loves her and her whole family is they're Raiders
They
fans.
know. They
Yeah,
know. They
yeah,
know. They know.
yeah, it makes me itchy. Makes me so itchy. Makes me so itchy.
Oh, weak, man.
You But talk about your little girl a little bit, and
Man,
your wife, your woman. Talk to me about it. How do they feel about this transition into you being everything that you've been called and created to be? Is there a push towards that? Is there a challenge as you press into your calling?
no, because like I said, I've been doing this for the longest time, man. It's crazy enough. Before I had baby, um, I planned on quitting my job where I was at that October. That was my plan already. I was gonna be like, all right, look, I'm gonna go and really focus on my music because that's what I'm gonna do. Um, and then in July, I found out I was having a baby. So I said, oh, all right, maybe I'll stay a little bit longer, right? Uh, so I ended up the next year baby was born. That was 2021, and the the end of 2021 in December is when they decided to close down the store that I was at.
Mm.
Excuse me. We were basically um, a retail facility for the military. I'm not gonna plug them because I don't like them anymore. So, but I was I was the loss prevention manager over there for many years. So yeah, they didn't want to give me a raise to go work at a different base, and I was like, all right, just give me my severance and I'll take off. So they did that, and that was a nice little chunk of change that I could sit on
Mm-hmm.
and be comfortable for a little bit to get things started, right? Um, so it was a blessing in disguise because I've been able to stay at home with baby since before she turned 1. Every single day, I've been able to be with her, and she's every morning she comes in here. She wants to play music. She wants to sing songs. She's growing up so quick. She's hecka smart. It's it's been the most incredible thing. Hold on, man. Look at this
Oh, hi, sweetheart.
girl, man. So
Oh, look at that.
yeah, man. I keep that on the desk so I can see it every single day. She's my world, man. And like I said, I was really selfish before I had her. Really selfish, and I didn't care. I really didn't care. And when she got here, it took me, I don't know, I want to say like 2 months, and I felt bad because I didn't feel like I was connected to her. Yeah,
Really?
I started to feel bad because everybody was on. I'd be on these forums reading up on like just father stuff, right? And everybody's like, man, as soon as my baby got here, I couldn't, I didn't feel that. Of course, I was hugging her and everything, but I just didn't feel like I don't know. I can't explain it. But maybe on that third month, I looked at her in her face and she looked me dead in my eyes, and I was like, oh. I was like, all right. And from that moment, I was like, okay, I see what these people are talking about, man.
I see what these
And
people are talking about.
yeah, and it's been an unmatchable feeling. Before baby was born and before that moment, the best moment of my life was performing in London. That was the highlight. I was like, man, this is the coolest thing that's ever gonna happen. Until that moment when I saw baby and she saw me, that changed everything. And since then, it's been game on. Like I said, I've been with her every single day. I've been able to stay at home and curate this and
Mm.
get my S together to be able to provide and do what I'm supposed to do. My lady, she helps tremendously, and she did help tremendously during that whole time that I was not able to go to work. I was just selling shoes or doing what I needed to do to make ends meet, right? Um, she's a fighter, man. She has lupus, and just recently she got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma as well. So
What?
yeah, and it's been a real tough 2 or 3 weeks.
Is this new diagnosis, the
Yeah,
Hodgkin's?
yeah. So we're going through that right now, and I'm I don't know what to do or say sometimes. I just get stuck because I'm not a doctor, you know what I mean? I can't tell you anything that the doctor's gonna say, or know anything extra that the doctor won't tell you, you know what I mean? So sometimes I just get stuck, and I feel bad for feeling like that, but at the end of the day, I have to realize that I just have to be supportive and do whatever I can to take some pressure off of her. I have to constantly tell myself that, because um, it's it's tough. It's tough, but we're prayed up, and we're gonna get through what we need to get through, and we're gonna be all right. But yeah,
Will her treatment plan include chemo or radiation? Do you know?
yeah, she started chemo 2 weeks ago. So she's in the middle of that right now, and we're gonna see how that treatment goes, and go from there.
How many rounds does she have to do?
I don't know. She's on her second this week. So
Every 2 weeks?
every week she goes.
Oh, she goes every
Yeah,
week.
every
How
week
long is
she
she
goes.
there for?
Maybe
About an
like
hour, two
an hour,
hours?
yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but I haven't gone to those sessions with her. She said she doesn't want me or the baby to see her in that room, but I feel like I need to be in there at least 1 or 2 times with her, man, because I don't want her. She don't need to be doing this by herself, man.
No.
Um, and as strong as she wants to be, it's not time for that. It's not
No.
time for that. I'm here, so that's what's gonna be going on. Yeah, so it's been a wild couple of weeks, but we're gonna make it through. We're gonna make it through.
You're gonna be just fine. And let me tell you why I know you're gonna be just fine. Because you have Jesus.
Yep,
And you know you have Jesus.
yep,
And because you have Jesus, you're going to make choices and decisions that align with purpose. And when we align with purpose, everything comes out exactly. It may not be the way I want it to be,
right.
right? But it comes out for my good. And that's one thing I can rest in for you, is that everything will work out for your good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, talk to me about the little one. What are the natural gifts and talents that you see in her as a daddy? What do you see?
She's just like me, man. She has an ear, and she has rhythm. She loves to dance, and it's I don't know. I'm biased because she's mine. But she just does all the same stuff that I do because she just sees me doing stuff every day, right? So it's incredible, man. She'll, like I said, every morning she comes in here, she'll jump on the keyboards and start making her songs. I come in here, turn it on, and press record, and let her go crazy. And then when she gets done and gets bored and goes want to watch her show, or read some flashcards, um, I'll come in here and I'll chop up and remix one of her songs into something and put it out there. But yeah, man, she's incredible. She's 3 now, and she's already half my height. She's almost 40 inches.
What
Um, like, why is she so tall, man?
is her
Uh,
mama?
no, she's like 5'1", and I'm only 6 foot. So I don't know. My grandpa was 6'4". Maybe she's getting some of his height. I don't know, but she's sprouting up, and every time
She's
she has a
probably
hiccup, yeah, every time she has a hiccup, I'm like, baby, you're getting taller. You got to stop, man. You got to stop. You're growing up. Um, but yeah, she's just like me. She's creative. She's smart, and she just talks a lot. And I love it. She won't be quiet, and it's the greatest thing on earth, man. Just keep talking. Um, yeah, that's my girl, man. Her name is Meilani, but I call her baby, and that'll be her name forever. Um,
until she
even
tells you to stop it and
even
don't
even when she
embarrass me,
tells me to
Dad.
stop, even when she tells me to stop, that's her name, man. Yeah, she's the only time she's Meilani is when she's getting in trouble. I'm like, Meilani, stop it. But
That's when
any other time,
her
yeah,
government name comes out.
any other time it's just baby. It's just baby.
So talk to me. Talk to me about, how does your mom, how, because I know you have, when we went on our little on the run tour and
Yeah,
we sat down, we talked a lot about your mom.
yeah.
And I was very my heart was warmed by your affection for your mom and the closeness of the relationship. How has becoming uh a family man, how has that changed, altered, or improved your relationship with your mom?
It's I don't think it's no, let me think about these words before I say them, because I said I don't think it would change the relationship, but it definitely has brought us closer. Um, Me and my mom have been close since I've been small. I always say been small, man. I don't know why I said that. Since I was a baby, of course. Uh, we've always been close. But when I turned 18, no, I'm sorry, when I turned 17, I graduated high school, and I couldn't wait to get out the house because my mom and dad divorced when I was like 10. And me and my brother stayed with my mom until I graduated. But I always wanted to come and live up with my dad here in Northern California, but we grew up in Southern California. So as soon as I turned 17 and graduated high school, I was out of there. And I kind of regret it because I didn't get to spend a whole bunch of extra time when I didn't have school with my mom. And then she started to follow my sister around, my older sister. She was in the Air Force. So wherever my sister went, my mom would buy a house and she would just live there. So she moved to Texas. My sister went to Italy, and I think my mom stayed in Texas. And then she ended up in Virginia, and that's where they're at now. So she just keeps going further and further away. So I don't get to see her whenever is convenient anymore. Even before she moved to Texas, I would only see her like 2 times a year. But I would talk to her on the phone all the time. We've been close that way. But yeah, so she lives on the other side of the country. She's coming back out here for Thanksgiving. So I get to see her and my sister and my brother-in-law then, and that's gonna be a great, fantastic time.
It
But yeah, man,
is.
my mom is legit, man. She's too legit. Um, I said that I wanted to live with my dad when I was young, but I didn't realize that I was more like my mom until recently. Because we started to talk more. When baby was here, we talk more often than we did before. So I'm starting to learn and see a lot and hear a lot of things. I'm like, man, you you sound a lot more like me than I sound like my dad. And so it was kind of crazy to get that dynamic now. But yeah, man, she's been a staple and a pillar in my life since I was young, man. And I deeply appreciate her and everything that she does for me. She's like I said, she's too legit.
Too legit.
Yeah.
Too legit to quit. Let me ask you this question. What are some of the things, or even just one thing, that you find yourself saying that is like your mother that you thought you would never say
It's
now that you're a parent?
Yeah, I was about to say it was something I say to baby. I don't know, man. I gotta think because I was bad when I was a kid, man. I was always into something, man, and I was always on restriction. But whenever whenever my mom would go to work, I just go outside and wait till she got home to come in. But she would always I kid you guys not, man. At least twice a week, I was I was getting whooped, man, because I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. So she was always trying to tell me stop doing that. So I think it's something like that, man. I'm telling baby every day, yo, chill out,
Stop
stop it,
doing
cut
that.
it out. Yeah. I do
Now
it
you
every day, all day,
understand your
man.
mama.
Yeah, every day, all day. So probably something along those lines, man. Just saying you need to chill out and calm down to the baby.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
has become important to you now, Joey? Let's just say in the last 90 days, what has become important to you?
I think health. Um, that's the first thing that popped into mind is health because you never know. You really never know. So if you can do things that can immediately impact your health on the better side, that's something that I have to pay attention to. I've always had
Mm,
it's called I don't know if it's called this, but I heard somebody called it cyclical weight gain.
mm,
I've been
mhm,
on
mhm.
that since I was little. I always say that, man. I've lost 100 pounds 3 times in my life, um, and it's just been one of those things like it just goes away and comes back. And I figured out that when I get into my depression mode, that's when I start gaining hecka weight and didn't even put it together. I Again, when I say I've lived a lot, I've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I've had a lot of losses. Um, and in 2018, I had a loss that put me into depression that I didn't even know I was in until I had my baby. Um,
Mhm.
so almost 5 years, I was in there just not. I was just zoned out and couldn't see what was going on. And then when I had mine, I was like, oh my, I realized what was going on. So now I'm in a place where I'm I feel like weight has been lifted off me. I don't have the stresses that I had 90 days ago, because I've been able to put them onto the Lord. Like, yo, you know how
Here you
you
go.
want me to feel. Yes, please take some of this because
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore. I can't do it, and I can't do it by myself. And I don't have 500 friends that I always talk to. I'm always reclusive. I keep everything to myself. And since I've been able to open up and actually have conversations, not only with God, I've had more conversations with my mom, my sisters, and just people in general. It's been easier to talk to them. And I definitely am leaning into that as well because sometimes it's not a burden to tell people some things,
Mhm.
especially if it could save somebody from doing something that they don't want to do. Not saying that I have those type of thoughts or anything like that, but um, I can see what could push someone to have those types of thoughts. Uh, and if you don't talk to somebody or get some kind of help, it could turn bad. So that's I guess that's a gem that I can give out is if you really feel like you have no one to talk to, you got to find somebody to talk to, because if you keep holding on to that, it's gonna keep weighing you down. It's gonna keep weighing you down. And my outlet was surrendering to God, and I didn't know that I needed that until it happened. And like I said, I've been able to get that pressure off my back and actually been able to speak to people about certain things that have never been possible before. And it's uh it's definitely a little bit of weight off my shoulders.
I love that you said cyclical weight gain.
Yeah,
Cyclical weight gain. Because from a person who is at one point almost 300 pounds, I was about 20 pounds shy of
yeah,
300 pounds, right?
yeah,
Um, and I have a set point number that I get to. And that set point, out I have to work hard, get down to a weight that I am happy with. But if I don't stay working hard, my set point returns. And what I've learned about that set point, it has a lot to do with my internals.
yeah,
So it doesn't matter what I eat or don't eat. It doesn't matter. What I know is that my emotions are driving the bus on my body. And so if I hold it in and I compress it, the weight just stays on. It's
yeah,
almost like a shield from my emotions. It's like I can't get rid of it until I deal with the issue. So
yeah,
I love that you said cyclical weight gain, and I love the illustration that you gave. You said I've gained and lost 100 pounds 3 times.
yeah. Three
And
times.
what I've learned about that is weight is not a physical problem, it's an emotional, spiritual, mental problem. It's a soul problem.
It really is, man. Because when you don't feel good, that's when that's when you don't feel like doing anything. So you just sit there. I'm gonna eat a little bit extra today, and then not doing anything at all because I don't feel like doing anything, and that just happens and happens and happens and happens, and it doesn't stop until you realize what's going on. You got to break it, and once you get to that point, you're already 2 3 years into not doing anything and being used to that. So
Mhm.
it's real difficult, but at some point you really got to tell yourself like, hey, okay, you can either do this or not do this because no one else is going to do it for you. You got to make up your mind to say, okay, that's it. Today's going to be the day. And whenever you say, okay, I'll just start tomorrow, that means you're actively thinking about it. So why not just
Yeah.
start right then? Why
Start
not just
then.
start right then?
Yeah.
That's the time. That's what I've been trying to force myself to do lately. Whether it's reading the book, I'll wait a few minutes. No, no, no. If you're thinking about it, go do it. That's
Mhm.
how.
That's a
That's how.
nugget, Joey.
Yeah. Okay. That's number two. Then if you're
Yeah.
thinking
If you're
about
thinking
something,
about it,
yeah,
do
that
it.
means you're actively trying to just do it. Just start it. At least start it because once you start, you're gonna keep going. So,
Right.
yeah, that's a nugget too.
Yeah. Once you get going, you'll pick up the momentum,
Yep.
and what wasn't normal will become normal.
Yep. It's
And if you don't uproot the issue that created the problem in the first place, then you're going to
it's gonna be
eventually,
there. Yeah. Yep.
it's going to be there. It's
Yep.
going to be there. So now talk to me about your weight loss journey. Where are you now?
Shoot. Since all right, so I said I got sick a couple weeks ago. Um, whenever I get sick, that jump starts it, man. I lost like 12 pounds
Yeah.
already. So it's
How much?
like 12 pounds in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
couple
It
weeks.
kicks it
Yeah,
off.
it happens. And when you're larger, it's way easier to lose weight because you have so much extra. It's just gonna fall off. So uh, if anybody has trouble with weight gain, talk to me, man. Because like I said, I've done this many times. I know the routes. I know what to take. I know what to do, and it's all about caloric deficit. I'll tell you that real quick too. It's all about caloric deficit. You gotta work
Mhm.
more than you eat. That's it. That's it. That's it. And drink water with lemon
Work
in it.
more,
If you,
stay hydrated.
yep. If you,
That is one of the things that's important. Stay hydrated.
yeah, just drink water. Just drink water. If you're hungry, drink water. Guess
Drink
what?
water.
Drink water. It really
Drink
is that
water.
simple, man. And it really is that simple. People make it difficult because they like snacks. Trust me. I love candy. I love pizza. I eat hamburgers all the time. But it's as simple as making healthy choices and drinking water and going on a walk every day. And you will be amazed at how you change in 30 days to 90 days. You don't even have to go to the gym. Just go outside and walk. Just go outside and walk. Get some fresh air, drink some water, and eat a salad and some turkey. I promise in 90 days you'll be like, dang. And then you'll have more energy to do those extra things like go to the gym and go swimming and do all that extra stuff. So but it's just baby steps, man. You didn't get this big overnight. You won't get small overnight either. So uh like I said, if you got anything that y'all need, talk to me, man. Talk to me. I've been there
I,
many times.
you know, you're just such an inspiration on so many levels. And I know you're doing these new things with the brands. What do you love most about the brands that you're shooting and working with? What do you love when you're behind the camera? What part do you love?
Everything every day is different. Um, we when I was doing what I was doing for those 18 years, I knew exactly what my routine was every single day.
Every
It was
day.
so mundane. I was like, all right, I had to start playing different games, like trying to see what I could do because I was so bored. Um, but now, like I said, every single day is different. I wake up, I'll turn on the computer, and then see what's out there, right? I'll go to a shoot, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be seeing. This weekend, I might do a quinceañera, and a lady has a horse that she wants to bring out there. It's just I've never been close to a horse before, so I don't know what to expect, man. But it's always something that is interesting to me because, like I said, I like to do stuff and I like to do different things. I like adventures, so
Yeah.
being able to shoot people and make them look good on their adventures is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So um, yeah,
What kinds
yeah,
of things do you learn from the people you're shooting? What are some of the most interesting things that you've learned from the people that you shoot?
man. Everybody is unique in their own way. Like everybody has something about them that makes them them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's that's a really good question, man,
Isn't
because
it? It's
it,
good and
it really
loaded.
is. It really is because you learn so much from just watching how people act. Uh, like you, Shawnee B, you're the nucleus, man. Like everything is around you and it pops from that, right? Because you have so many ideas, and it doesn't matter what the idea is, you're going to catch on to it and you're going to expand on that. And you're going to, oh, when I'm over here, you're going to take this tangent and go this way. And by the time we're over here, we forgot what we were talking about 10 minutes ago. But it's always over here where we end up. And it's like, oh, all right, cool. Yeah, that's
We got
what we're
there.
supposed to be doing. Yeah. I don't know how we
We
got here,
got
but
there.
it worked. But it worked. Like I said, I met you, what is 2020? 2021.
2021.
2021.
2021.
2021 I met you. And now we're going into it's 2025 going into 2026. And look what tangents we've been
Where
on
we
and
are.
where we've gone and we're right here. Um it's always like that. And you're one of those folks that I've met that I just don't let me how do I say this? When I met you, I think somebody else that wasn't me, probably wouldn't have believed what you were talking about, just because your ideas were so out of here. But I just saw your face, and I was like, man, she's serious.
She's
Uh,
serious about
yeah,
this.
she's serious. I don't know how she's gonna do this, but she's dead serious. Um, and I felt that immediately after meeting you, and I was like, all right, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. And I felt like that ever since I met you. So that's one thing that I've learned, is that you just don't judge a book by its cover, because you never know. You never know. You could have just been saying all this stuff and fell to the wayside. But we're here 4, 5, 6 years later, and you're still doing your thing. And you were doing this way before you met me, way before you met me. So that just goes to show consistency is key. And
Woo!
yeah,
That's
you're in
another
that lane.
nugget.
You're in that lane.
Yeah, consistency is key.
It is.
So as we wrap this, I just want to say to you, I am so excited for what God has for us. I'm excited for the brands that we will collectively work together with.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm excited about the music that we'll make together, because I know we're going to make music.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
even think I even think that you're going to work with me on my one woman show. I even think that you're going to work with me. I see a cartoon coming in my future, and
Yeah.
I can see you working on that, because I think out of everyone in my arsenal, I think you have the vision to create a little Shawnee Sunshine cartoon and be amazing at it, with all the characters, with all the music, with all of the, I can see that for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And so I am calling that into the heavens right now. And my this season of my life is to bring heaven to earth. And
Mm.
I want to partner with the people in this world that want to bring heaven's plans down here to earth. And I believe that you're one of them. And I thank you for being my friend. I
Absolutely.
thank you for being my brother. I thank you for trusting me. I thank you for trusting God in the midst. It was crazy. In 2021, I thought I was losing my mind. Literally. I literally
Yeah.
thought I was losing my mind. So to have you say, I just trusted. I trusted.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want you to know how much that truly, truly means to me.
A-
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, as soon as I met you, I could just tell you were genuine. Um, and you don't come across people like that too often. So there's nothing to do. Just like when I met Tony and Tila, you guys have the same energy.
We're
I,
cousins.
I seen Tony used to come to where I worked at, and I saw him, I don't know, 50 times before I finally talked to him. And on that 51st time, I was like, man, he had dreads like me, and his forehead was big like mine too. So I was like, man, let me see who cuts his hair, man. So I went up and I talked to him, and he had some Raider gear on. I was like, man, what's up, man? We're both Raider fans, of course. So we're sitting
Gendered.
here talking, and I asked him, I was like, man, who cuts your hair? And he's like, oh, I'm a barber. And I was like, why did you tell me this? He's like, well, because I never talked to you, first of all. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So uh, he became my barber that weekend, and that was a wrap. I haven't gone to anybody else since then. I don't know how long ago that was, like 2017 maybe. Um, and then, like I said, they have that same energy. And when I met you, that's who I met you through, and it was the same
It
thing.
was
So
it was
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It
it
was
was it
it
was
was
the same thing.
destiny.
Yep,
It was
yep,
destiny. All
yep.
right. So where can the people find you? Because they need to find you. Listen, he said if you have weight loss issues,
Yep.
he does your brands, he do
Talk
your
to me.
video. He's a straight Jamaican. Where
Talk,
can they find you, Joey?
talk to me, man. You guys can find me at Joey Mixon, JoeyMixin. That's on Instagram. And my website is somc.pro. somc.pro. Check it out and talk to me. Like I said, if you guys need any help, man, I do digital media production. I guess I'm a weight loss coach now. Whatever you need, man, I got y'all, man, for real. I really do. I really do.
And I got y'all too. So thank you so much. Thank you, Joey, for being on this week's episode with me. It was everything. And
Absolutely,
you
man.
guys, thank you for tuning in another Saturday morning, getting these lessons from the journey. So
Yep.
you know what I'm gonna tell you to do, right? You've been here with me a couple weeks now. Bring it in. I want you to go love your life. I'll see you next week. Remember, this is Chanel Brown. This is Lessons from the Journey. Look, go love your life. See you next Saturday. Bye, y'all.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's go. Get on your mark, let's go. What you waiting for? There's so much more. The future's yours. Let go, explore. It's yours for sure. Sing with me with fear. So to God I stay near. I keep my hand to the plow. There's no turning back now. My future look bleak. I decided to see. He said follow me on a journey you'll see.